Hello and welcome to a new video. As always, when I decided to go for a ride, it gets super windy, so but I think that using the current setup I have, it doesn't capture too much wind noise. So I'm on the Honda Navi, and my end goal today is to go to Iroquois Park and see if the road is open that goes to the top part of the park, the overlook. Right now I'm just getting to Poplar level road. This could be a little bit treacherous. We'll see. And if you've ever wondered what it's like to ride in the bike lanes that we have around the city, so this right here is a bike lane. Basically just a little bit of the shoulder, some painted lines that's full of gravel, and oftentimes broken glass and other stuff. The speed limit on this road is 35 miles per hour, but people regularly do 50. And this Honda Navi, I'm still trying to get it broken in. I have my turn signal on still. The top speed of this is about 50. But to do that, you gotta run it, you know, wide open, full throttle, high RPM. So I'm just kind of taking some back roads where I can go a little bit more leisurely as I continue to break this bad boy in. It's got a little under 200 miles on it. The break-in period is supposed to be about 600, or no, wait a minute, 300 miles is what the manual says to break it in, and then the first service is at 600 miles. So, still letting this get broken in a little bit. And then once that is, in my opinion, fully broken in, I will go on a little bit longer rides that go out further and require to go full speed the entire time. And two, I know earlier I mentioned the audio setup I have, so in case you're curious, this is the GoPro Hero 10 that's on a like a clamp chin mount thing. I think it's I'll put a link in the description if you're interested. But you just attach the GoPro to it, and it has a clamp, and then I've just been able to clamp it onto the chin guard portion of my helmet. And right now I'm using the helmet. It's actually a dirt bike helmet, but it has the mesh grill in the front of the helmet, right in front of the mouthpiece, so I'm able to have the rear facing mic. So I have the GoPro Hero 10 black in the media mod, and it's on this gripper mount that's attached to my helmet, and I have the media mod with the rear facing mic, and I have the wind muff thing on it that it comes with. So it should be, you know, the microphone should be directly in front of my mouth, and I think it's pretty clear. And then the wind muff thing does do somewhat of a decent job at blocking wind noise. It's a nice little field. Because I know before I'd use my old GoPro Hero 8, because it's a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller, but it does not have the wind muff piece that goes on the media mod, so it's a little bit more susceptible to wind noise. But I'm always experimenting with the good setups to use for this stuff. And I thought there was a deer over there at first, but it was just a statue in somebody's yard. I'm not 100% sure what this route is. I know eventually it'll get me where I want to go. And it is quite windy. And I've started, when I record these videos, shooting in super view mode. So it's a little bit wider angle, so you get some of the bike in the frame too. Some body shops. It's a cool plane up ahead, if you can see that at all. It's one of the types that has the propellers on it, like a helicopter to land. I'm not sure where that would be landing exactly, but it's a nice low, tight bridge. And basically I'm going in between Poplar Level Road towards Iroquois Park. When I first started, I was crossing over onto Poplar Level, in case I did not mention that. And then this will be Preston Highway. And I forget which direction I need to go. I'll go right. Oh, we're past the... One thing I will say is this, I know I saw some of the reviews, people complained about the brakes for the Navi, because they're just drum brakes. Small, cheap drum brakes. And I will say that it has taken a little bit of adjustment to get used to the stopping distance you need. Because previous to this, I mostly rode e-bikes. You know, in recent years, I had motorcycles before, but that was a while back. But with the e-bikes, I would just have, you know, they'd weigh, because the heaviest one I have with the battery is around 100 pounds. And then 100 pounds with the disc brakes, with, you know, nice disc brakes, and I replaced the brake pads for some higher end brake pads. It stops pretty easily. It stops, you know, pretty short distance. And then I'm getting used to this bike that weighs around 230 to 240 pounds, 230 to 240 pounds with gas in it, you know, excluding me. And it's got these disc brakes, or not disc brakes, it's got these drum brakes that take a little bit longer to stop. So I've had to get used to that a little bit. I mean, I don't think it's dangerous to any extent, really. I just think you have to get acclimated to the stopping distance you'll need to allow for. And then this is Preston Highway. We're going to go past the fairgrounds. And all of this would be much quicker if I took the expressway, but when you buy a Navi, at least when I bought mine, you had to sign an agreement saying you wouldn't take it on the expressway. And with the top speed of around 50, I wouldn't take it on there even if you legally were allowed to. Because if you're from Louisville, you'll know of the Watterson Expressway is a highway that speed limit is 55. People tend to ride about 70. So I wouldn't feel safe at all doing 50. This is where you can get on the expressway. And then over to the right is the Fair and Exposition Center. So if you want to go to the State Fair, you go over to the right. They have different events there. You can also go to Kentucky Kingdom, which is an amusement park. And even, you know, I mentioned I wouldn't feel safe taking a bike that has a top speed of 50 on an expressway where the speed limit's 55. The road I'm on right now has a speed limit of 35. And people get somewhat impatient if you don't immediately get up to 35. Because I've had people pass me quite often on this thing as I'm kind of breaking it in on main roads where the speed limit is 35. I'll be doing between 35 and 40, and people will pass me, you know, even in areas where there's like a double yellow line. And one time even over kind of a blind curve, which is incredibly dangerous. There's a bowling alley. Time to get back over. There is, over to the right was the amusement park, Kentucky Kingdom. Now this is Crittenden Drive. I may cut some of this out just because it's riding around without anything all that interesting going on. And we're about to approach the Cardinal Stadium, where University of Louisville football team plays, on Central Avenue. It's been renovated a few times over the years, and they've added additional seating to the stadium. And if you keep going straight, that would be Floyd Street, and you would pass the University of Louisville's campus, or a portion of it. They have the street fenced off here. I'm recording on Sunday, May 1st. The Derby, the Kentucky Derby, will be next weekend, next Saturday. So this may be in preparation of that, because they'll have tons and tons of people parking in different areas and walking over to Churchill Downs, which is up ahead, as long as you can see that. And it is incredibly, incredibly windy. It makes riding quite annoying, because another side effect is this bike is kind of small, and it's kind of easy to blow around if there's a lot of wind. So right now I'm going down 3rd Street. Heading towards Iroquois Park. It's another area where the speed limit is 35 miles per hour, but people like you to do quite a bit more. So we'll see how that goes. And then it changes over from 3rd Street to Southern Parkway. So I'll be taking Southern Parkway the rest of the way to the park. About to pass the Waterston Expressway ramp, I-264. Downside, assuming this isn't too windy, it's very, very windy. I can barely hear myself think. This GoPro, the only downside is the type of helmet that I have it mounted to, and where it's at on the helmet, it does block a little bit of my view, so I have to tilt the helmet down to see the speedometer. I mean, at this point I kind of have a feel for what speed this bike is doing based on what it sounds like, but that car had been following me pretty closely for a while. Whenever I see people get stuck behind a left turn, like just what happened now, I always hesitate a little bit to make sure that if they decided to jump out to the right lane, I'd have time to get away. And in a minute, we'll be at Iroquois Park. And I'm hoping that they have the Upple Road that goes up to the overlook, the northern overlook on top of the park. I hope that's open, because I looked at the website and it says that it's open on Fridays and Saturdays, but it may not be. Or Fridays, or I don't know, it's kind of confusing, because one website said Friday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I think that may be the old hours of operation pre-COVID. And then I saw something else that said that it's open every Saturday and Sunday once a month at the end of the month, but they were not open last month. Or not last month, last week. October 24th it wasn't open. I wonder if it'll be closed this weekend. We'll see. Because on one hand, I do like, you know, somebody who go to a lot of the parks pretty often, I did like the fact that when things are closed to the traffic, it wasn't as likely that you would get run over. That you could utilize the parks without people doing over the speed limit and almost running you over. But on the other hand, like for this video, I don't necessarily want to park and leave this motorcycle, this Navi at the end, at the bottom of the park entrance, and then hike all the way up or walk all the way up. So I would like to be able to ride through, but we'll see if it's open. I'll ride through this way. Used to come up here and spend quite a bit of time in my youth. or when I was a kid. I don't know, saying in my youth sounds kind of weird. When I was a kid. Make sure there's no car. The tennis courts here have definitely seen better days. I know I'd done a video not too long ago about urban legends and actual crimes that occurred here in the park. And I would say, you know, from what I've researched, it's very unlikely that if there's a large, heavily used public park in the middle of a populated city, it's pretty common that stuff would happen there. You know, people having, you know, bodies being dumped there, crimes occurring, because it's somewhere that you can drive, depending on where you're at, you know, not very far. You can drive, you know, in some cases 5-10 minutes and be in a pretty isolated area away from view. And that just can be enticing for a number of things people want to do. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the park's unsafe. I just probably wouldn't come here at nighttime myself. Well, I mean, I actually have done that. But I had brought one of my electric scooters that can do, you know, nearly 20 miles an hour. So it wasn't like I was just walking on foot and anybody could just come up and snatch me. Ah, damn it. I think the top is closed. Let's see. Yep. It's closed. It's a bummer. Well, I guess I'll just ride around the bottom of the park then. Oh man, well, I can probably find some footage to splice in of what it looks like at the top of the park, because I've recorded video footage up there a few times, and not on a motorcycle obviously, but I had taken before I'd taken my one wheel up there and recorded footage. I rode around at the top. So maybe I was reading the website wrong. I was thinking that it meant since it was closed last weekend, or partially, that it'd be open this weekend. But I guess that was not correct. I guess that meant that for the month of April, it was just open Sunday, April 24th, I think. And not the Saturday, or the 23rd, 24th, I forget. So I guess the next time it'll be open to drive to the top will be at the end of May. They should really have, like, I was trying to see if there was like a place on their site that shows when it's open or not, but there's not. I kind of just had to go and look through various articles published from their site into local news stations. I mean, I get the value of keeping stuff, you know, nature doesn't always need to be interrupted by vehicles riding through. And this is a relatively small, quiet bike in the scheme of things. It's not very loud. And it doesn't pollute a ton, and it wouldn't likely interrupt somebody's day massively. But, you know, somebody on a louder sport bike or cruiser has, you know, aftermarket exhaust and pipes and stuff, might be a little bit louder and distracting. Or if somebody has the loud exhaust system plus a loud stereo system so that they can hear music over the exhaust system, that's always a double whammy. But still a nice relaxing park. You can go for a nice walk or run or jog or ride your bike through. And there are horse trails, horse riding trails as well. So you can bring your horse up here if you have one. There's the archery range, picnic area. And then up ahead is part of the park that is closed to through traffic currently. I think they in the fall and in the winter have events that go through that side. The Winterwood Spectacular and the Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular, where they just have like you know, pumpkins and different displays and light shows, and the winter you know, Christmas light type shows all set up over there where you drive through. So that may be why that's closed off. I think at this point they'd have all that packed away, since it's getting close to being summertime. But yeah, this is the horse barn. The horse barn area. So you gotta be careful in gravel. But yeah, so that was riding around some, going up to the Iroquois Park area, riding through Iroquois Park. Unfortunately, the road that goes to the overlook was not open, but I'll throw some footage here in at the end that I've taken in, you know, past trips up to the front, just so you can see what the top of the park looks like. When it is open, you know, if you have a bike, it'd be fun to ride through. But yeah, so after this, I'll just throw in some footage of the park from past visits of what the top part looks like, since I wasn't able to go through today. But yeah, that'll wrap it up till next time. Later.